Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great morning today. We are up and ready for trading on the Dow with our top one futures accounts. Sorry getting on a little bit late this morning. Life happened. So we are on before the open, so that will work. Okay. Just getting everything finalized and set up here. Let's just go ahead and jump over to our charts. All right. Okay. 200 of VWAP. Okay. Copy trader. This is 181. And follower will be 068. All right. I'm going to take a quick break and go get my English muffins for breakfast. Be right back. Oh, there we go.
Hey DJ! I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Okay. Turn. Make sure. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I don't hear it on my end. Okay. Yeah, that's my break music playing for YouTube. Get off while we're in. Uh, over here. My breakfast. Yeah, I got it pulled up. I got no clue which way we're gonna go with yesterday's pump. Just gonna wait and see what the open brings. Hang out for a few and let it show. Wait and see if bombshells and look. That's about the only news we can get right now. Motherfuckers can't open the damn government. Ridiculous. Israel government briefing and mid-Gaza ceasefire. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what else do I need to have up. YouTube, Real Deal Futures. Get him up if he's on. He might still be on time off. Huh? Hmm. Let me see what my settings. Oh, let's see. Let's try. Let's try that. Is that any better? Nope. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, because I'm not sure. My YouTube and my Discord microphones are the same, If you don't have YouTube up, that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right, is that you, Chris? Yeah. All right. On your screen, so this my right-hand chart. Can you unmute your mic, Chris? Don't tell me you're gonna have the same problems with your mic. Anyway, if you're watching and you can hear me, if you can see my screens, the right screen does not have the order box in it. If you go up to this little plus sign up here that says Add Components, it's just above your charts on the top right, and you go to the $ order. You click and hold, drag it, hover over the yellow arrow, release, and that will bring it up. Now you need to close the Add Components box, and then you can resize your order box. Let's see. Yeah, he's having the same problems he was yesterday. Hmm. You know what I don't get? What I don't get is that he was actually somehow allowed to open 2 accounts on Discord with the same name. And we are open, off and running. Where did that go? Leave my trading view charts back. Okay. TradingView sucks. TradingView sucks. Why are you not letting me buy? Figure it out yet, Chris? Nope, you're still muted. Text me if you can hear me, man. Mm. That was a swipe of the overnight open. Missy, you can't have any of this. It's sugar free. Sorry, baby. Market order rejected, rejected. Now you're catching up. You piece of shit. So TradingView has another leap competition going on with TradeStation, and I literally clicked the buy button like 2 minutes ago, and it just now showed me that it executed the order. TradingView sucks at the open because they do it through the paper trading. It just sucks. Delayed so bad. We're coming back up to the 50 DRT range. So if the market's going to continue down, we now have to consider the 50% range, above 50% range for shorts. And the only reason I say we might still come down is if you look on the daily, we just made a double bottom and still have a little bit of that fair value gap left over down there. So engineering liquidity to go finish out that fair value gap, or are we just going to leave that daily open and head back to all-time highs? Pretty good question. I don't have the answer. But typically, a strong buy side model in the market. When it goes sell side, it usually won't go all the way back down to the bottom of the model, which we did. We came down and we swiped the low that created the buy side. So I'm not real sure. I'll trade either direction as long as I see strength in the market. That's all I need. This is showing strength, but I would really like to see what happens at the 5-0 before I start thinking about trades. So that's all I got to say about that for now. What the fuck? Oh, there it is. Where the hell did the chat go? Hmm. There we go. Chat, chat, chat. Where's Rio Dio? Okay, yeah, he's not live. Okay. He's still on vacation. Well, we're up $345 in the leap competition. And it should have closed that trade at the 50%. Just should have closed it. That's all I gotta say. Uh, Okay, that's $350. We'll close that position. It is taking forever to close positions and open positions. Oh, what's the 3 minute? See what we do here at the 50%. That's at 47,000. That would be an awfully big 15-minute gap if we did make it. But until we actually form a gap through the 50% and then see it hold, I really don't trust the upside movement here. Got a giveaway going on Tradify TV. I may have to turn that volume up a little bit here in just a second so I can listen. See what the 2 minute looks like. 20 and the 200. Yeah, I mean, you got a narrow state elephant bar there. How big was that sucker? 68 points, not bad stop. Well, Chris, if you took that trade, I would close it and profit. Don't try to hold it for a lot of money. 2 minute could pull back to 47, 351. 357 is the 9 EMA. That also puts you into a fair value gap on the 2 minute. I would want to see that hold and not get back below the 9. There. Put this on a 1 minute chart, see what happens. I know you're in a trade, Hazel, if you're taking the 5 minute orb. I don't really like the rejection off the 50% level, but if one of these fair value gaps does hold before we go and break the low of the 5 minute orb, then um, I may change my mind about that and see if we can't go back, take a trade to go back up and break it. The first 1 minute fair value gap did hold. The middle gap so far looks like it's holding. The top one's held so far. We did hit the 1 minute 21. I'm gonna go ahead and take a long here. Um, and why am I not seeing the trade? It said order filled. There's no way. There's no way. What the fuck? What the fuck just happened? Holy shit. There's no way. What the fuck? Okay, well, I just made $300 in two accounts, both of my funded accounts. There's no way that moved like that. That was not that big of a candle. On 3 micros? Oh shit, never mind. What the fuck is that? Holy shit, why is that? Well, I was on ES, evidently. Minis, even. Holy shit. Okay, well, I'm done trading those for the day. Um, let's go back and hook up. Holy shit, it's nice to get lucky sometimes, right? Um, daily loss limit of 375 on these. Or no, actually, daily loss limit on these is 375, 475, 500, and 1500. Okay, let's do that. Um, copy trade. Let's see, what is this? One 949. and hook in these two accounts. Oh, shit. 949. Hook in these two, save. Go back to the charts. All right. Wow. I'm glad ES bounced for a moment. Holy shit. Okay, I did not win the Tradeify giveaway. Um, wow, guys. Um, we got lucky. We got lucky. Oh, well, evidently my order box was set to ES. Um, so now let's just make sure our charts and our order box are linked. Wow. All right, so we're on MYM over here. We're on MYM over here. The order box is connected. We're down at session VWAP. Let's put on our New York VWAP. We're below the New York Open VWAP. We're below the 9. We're below the 21. Let's go back to the 2 minute. I'm still not looking to trade YM right now. The rejection we had off the 50%. We haven't yet created a 15-minute fair value gap, so we could here, but we still got a little ways to go. Still got 11 minutes left in this new 15-minute candle to see if we do create a fair value gap here. We're bouncing off the 2-minute 21. We don't have any fair value gaps to the downside. Ooh, that was a little bit of a harsh rejection off the 9 and the New York VWAP. But oh, wait, it works. And I was talking to a couple others about it, and with these bigger monitors, you really don't want to put one on top of another because you get a neck strain having to look up. Hey, coming back down to session view up, the 2 minute. Uh, Last line of defense before the 5-minute opening range is this fair value gap here. Was that was a 3-minute. No, that wasn't a 3-minute. Was that a 1 minute? How did? Oh, I was drawing that on. Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's a 1 minute fair value gap. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We do have some 15-minute fair value gaps below us. As you can see on my 15-minute chart, that first one, that top one there has held rather well. We are coming back down to the 15-minute 9, 15-minute 21, and what is showing as the 15-minute VWAP. Obviously, these VWAPs are not correlated between time frames, which is why I like the New York session VWAP. In fact, I think we'll pretty much take that session VWAP or the Globex VWAP off the lower time frame. I would rather have it on the higher time frame to be a little bit more accurate. I am going to take these other SMAs back off the charts. All I need is the 9 and the New York VWAP. Well, volatility is not that bad this morning. I mean, our ATR is only at 32 and already starting to fall. We didn't get any huge ATRs at the moment, so we could move up a time frame on that. 35 on the 3-minute chart. I like the 3-minute chart better as long as we have a good ATR where our stop losses can be managed. Let's see. I'm gonna take this one off the charts. Take this one off the charts. And of course, we're well below the 6.2 and 7.0 of the morning push up. So if we see that as, I'm going to sell through here, move my stop down just around the 9 and the top of this last fair value gap that's getting inverted now. Go ahead and take the short there. Go ahead and add to the oh shit, still, damn it. All right, add to the trade there. That was kind of a screw up on my part. All right, we got a pretty decent stop at $200. We're in 6 micros. May add to the trade again, depending on if we displace through the bottom of this range. Could just be double manipulation move. We take out the top, we take out the bottom of the range, and then we go back up, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't really like the rejection off the 50% there, but this could definitely head back to the upside after getting to the bottom of this range. I would like to see us take out a little bit of this displacement here. If we're looking at our levels right now, we are pretty much at the 6.2. So I'm gonna pull my stop down to it's kind of dangerous. Pull the stop down to the 7.0 or the 50% mark of this entire range. No, I can't do that. I can put it on the inverted gap. Because we failed the 5-minute fair value gap. And we did make a gap up there as well, but I can't risk that with this amount of contracts. So since we did sweep the low, let's go ahead and put this fib on here. And what are we looking at? Let's see if the 9 holds here. That was a pretty good rejection off the 9 unless we shoot back up to it in the last minute. So we had an immediate rebalance after creating a gap on the 3 minute here. Um, and I'm hoping that shows us the strength to the downside that we're looking for. I am willing to cut this trade early if need be. I want to see that 9 EMA push down a little bit before I add again to the trade. There, that's a nice little push. See if we can pull back up to the 50% again. I'll add one more time there. That will be an add and a drawdown, but I'll also be pulling my stop down at that point. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull my stop down. I want the 9 to hold here so that we can get a push down into this up displacement. I didn't quite hit the 50, but we're pretty close to it. See what this candle does. I'd like to see it come back down and have a color change. I don't want to see too many green candles start here. We did come down and fill all the fair value gaps from the pre-market range, and we did tap into the 6-2. So um, just still more inclined to the downside because of the rejection off the 50% DRT level after sweeping the 4-hour low that created the DRT. We are coming down to the higher time frame VWAP, session VWAP. We did break through it, but we're so far on this 15-minute candle, we're holding above it. We do have the 10 o'clock macro coming up here shortly. So on the 10 o'clock macro, if we can't get a little bit of downside momentum, I think I'll be closing this trade early. This is one thing I don't want to see is it shoot right back up. But if we're going to reject the 50 and we're going to come back down and test some lows, I would be looking to come back down to the 75, where we had the value area high from yesterday. And value area low from yesterday and the value area high from Friday, and the value area low from Friday, value area high from Thursday. There we go. We got it out of there. We got it out. We know what we're talking about. All right, I like that push. I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 more there. Pull my stop down to just above that bar. That's $138 risk. We're in 9 micros. I want to go ahead and just see us break through this 75 here. That was a strong push down that closed below the 7.0. It could just snap right back at this point. We're hitting the golden pocket right at 10 o'clock. So that could just snap right back up. But that was the nice little color change with a strong candle off the 9 that I was wanting to see. And I'm still wanting to see us come take out some of this displacement here. Love to see us come down into this fair value gap, which is this consolidation here. We got pretty close to it and see what happens there. We'll see. Let's see, opening price. Okay, so we're just coming into opening the overnight open now. The lows of the overnight are down around 138. So that's about another 100 points if we're going to go take out, have a seek and destroy day and go take out the London lows, which Monday would be a really good day for that to happen. Um, we are coming into those 15-minute fair value gaps. We did break through and invert both of these top gaps. Um, so I would like to see those inverteds hold, but we did come down into that last one again at the 6270 of the lower time frame swing high and swing lows. I won't be moving my stop anymore. The 9 has come down to our stop. I mean, if price starts, looks like it's going to come back up to the 9 again, I may have to move it up just a little bit. Um, and I know this is going to be high resistance to the downside with this last 15-minute gap there, but I really would like to see us get a little bit more of a push down, get that 100-point move to go take out the London lows. Have a nice seek and destroy day here. Let's see. We got to create a 15-minute fair value gap to the downside. There is a small one there, but that hasn't filled yet. Not to say it won't. Maybe we got a full 15 minutes to wait for this next candle to close to see if we actually made a 15-minute fair value gap on the morning. And if we do invert all three of these 15-minute fair value gaps, then I am definitely still looking downside on the market. 15-minute 200 is still pointing down. We got lots of extension off the 200. Would love to see us come back to the 15-minute 200, which would hit our 100-point target. Let's see, where's our levels between these quadrants? Let's grab the mini quad and let's go from the 5-0 down to the 7th. Hello? Oh, wrong freaking chart. Let's go grab the mini quad over here and go from the 5-0 to the 7-5. Okay, so we can take this one off chart, make it a little easier to read. Oops, I think I just did the 4-hour off. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, oh, that would be down to the 25%. On the mini quads. Let's go fix our 4-hour. I didn't mean to do that. Just making all kinds of damn mistakes on the charts this morning. Quad with OTE, which we need to switch because I don't want the OTEs in there. Let's just turn those off. Okay, lock that one in. All right, and then we got our mini quads. Let's make them white. Okay. We haven't broken through the 50% yet of this quadrant. But we are kind of holding the 15-minute 21. 15-minute 21 is at 202. Oh, sorry, that's the 4-hour shit. Here we go again. Get your shit straight, dude. Alright. Still holding above 50% of this quadrant, and that fair value gap is sitting at 50%. So there's a good chance we run back up from here. I'm going to reduce my risk a little bit more here. Get us down to about $100 risk on this trade, which is really good for 9 contracts. And that keeps us around the 9. If 9 can come on and push down, 15-minute 21 and 9 has rolled over. That 9 is at 260. My stop is at 264. So if we can get some consolidation here, let the EMAs catch up a little bit, maybe we do continue down to the downside a little bit. We'll just have to see what this, if we can get through this last 15-minute fair value gap to the downside, is pretty much going to be the question. If not, we go back up and fake flip these 2 fair value gaps that we just inverted on the 15, then we definitely could be looking back to the upside. Oh. That one's inverted. This one's inverted. Your VWAP's flattening out from the consolidation. I like that nice little tap to the downside there. See if we can get below the 7.5. We still have our fair value 15-minute bearish fair value gap up here that we haven't closed yet. I think we did come up and tap it. At least we were really close to it. Tapping it. There we go. Yeah, we did. Oh, what the? Of course we tapped it because that's what would have made the gap. Okay. There's session view up on the 15. If it pushes up to the 9, we're going to get taken out of this. And if we do close above these inverted, then we've got a fake flip on the 15-minute. We certainly don't have a 15-minute fair value gap at the moment. All right, well, that took us out of that trade. Maybe a little tight. You usually do want to give the 9 a little bit of room there. But if we close on the 15 back up in this area, then we are fake flipping these inverted gaps, and we're inverting. Well, we're not. We didn't even make a gap there because I just killed that. we're holding the 15-minute EMAs and the session VWAP here. I'm just gonna start another short trade here and keep the stop above the New York VWAP. We did have displacement that broke that broke structure, so I am kind of looking for, if we do have to get a pullback here, where are we going to get to? The 50% is above New York VWAP. So I'm gonna risk about $94 here, $98. Let's go ahead and get this where we can actually see them a little bit. There we go. Um, I'm okay with this trade. We seem to be holding the SMAs and this session view up on the 15-minute. We'll see shortly. Um, but again, New York VWAP is what I'm mainly concerned with here, which we still have a little ways to go to get to. Um, so let's see. All right. Go ahead and turn on my YouTube channel here. Okay. If we do hold New York VWAP and head back down and get below the 9 again, then um, we'll be looking to add to this trade. If not, we'll take the loss on it. It's no big deal. Um, oh, that's why I had it. Didn't have it quite. There we go. Now we can see our profit and loss. Okay. I mean, we're down what, $84 on the day so far. Uh, that was a pretty good rejection off of that inverted gap there, which was a 1-minute inverted gap. And close to New York VWAP, getting back below the 9 here. I'm going to go ahead, let me see the next candle. So we do have a 3-minute fair value gap to the upside here. Let's see how we react off of that. Because we did close below the session VWAP, even on that up candle. Yep, I'm going to add a trade here. I'm going to pull my stop down, see if we can go invert this gap in this 3-minute candle and head back to the downside. I want a full inversion of the gap before I add back into non-contracts. That candle did show a little strength to the downside. Doesn't mean it's going to continue through the gap, but that little pop down below, back below the 9 is where I want to add to that trade there. Still got 1:30 left in the candle. And I want to add here because it could just very well pop right back up into that fair value gap and not invert it just yet. So if we see more strength, this looks like it's going to go break the lows, we'll add. Or if we actually close and invert the fair value gap, then we'll add to the trade again. "45 seconds left in the 3-minute candle. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop down just a little bit, about $70 risk. I don't, now that we've curled back over, we've got close to VWAP. We've bounced off this 1-minute inverted, the first gap of the day, and we're back below the 9. I really don't want to see us get back above the 9 here. I'm okay if we don't invert the gap with this candle, but I don't want to see us get back above the 9. I'd rather see down pressure continue and actually invert the gap either on this candle or the next one. 5 seconds left in the candle, and we are not going to invert the gap, and we're not going to close below 50% of that inverted gap or that bullish gap. So I'm still not certain that we're going to continue down, but I am still looking for us to stay below the 9. This time I am going to give a little bit of room above the 9. But just a little bit. I mean, we're already down $86. I don't really want to be getting into too big of a drawdown this early in the morning because the market, if we are going to make a break for one side or the other, either London lows or the session high for New York session high, then I still want to have some. I still want to have some room to play with, right? This is the first minute of the 3-minute candle. I've still got 2 minutes left, but we did break the previous candle's low. I'm going to go ahead and add there. Looks like we're going to break the lows of this consolidation. Let's make sure it's not going to be just a manipulation move. All right, I'm going to add one more time. We're in 12. And one more time for the last 1 minute of this candle. I want to see the last 1 minute of this candle move strong to the downside and create a fair value gap through structure here. I'm going to take one more add. The risk is coming down. I don't want to see a rebalance here. I want to see a fair value gap made. So I can risk the $141 to the wick of this previous candle. Because again, I don't want to see a rebalance. I'm okay if it does, but I'd really like to see a fair value gap made through this consolidation here. And have a little bit of strength to the downside, which would also give us that 50, in the next 10 minutes, I'd really love to see us invert this last 15-minute gap here. I think we do have a really small one down here, right around the value area, which is the value area high from yesterday. Okay, so if we can break into yesterday's range, and point of control is also down here at about 167. Again, I really don't want to see a rebalance here. I want to see this gap made, and I would feel a lot better about leaving my stop at 141. I can't, if it looks like we're going to come up, I can move it to get above the 9 just a little bit because we are in 18 micros here, so I don't want to get too crazy uh, with my stops. Okay, now I can see why we were pulling back. We got too much space between the 1 minute and the 1 minute 9. Um, Certainly would like to see this hold. I will come up just a touch. So we're up 90, that would be 200 and change. Still not halfway to our daily loss limit. So uh, we're going to have double-sided manipulation here. I really don't want to see that. We do have a 1 minute fair value gap still. Well, I say that we did fair value gap through uh, on the 1 minute through that consolidation, right? But we have closed above the halfway mark, and there is a rebalance. Well, there you go. All right, we rebalanced the 15-minute gap, but we didn't invert it. We still have 7 minutes left on that 15-minute candle. We're gonna have to wait a little longer to take a trade. If we were gonna break to the downside, with some strength, that was the spot to do it at. But it didn't do it, so we will. We're down 283 on the evals, so we still got room to play. But obviously, now we're at that point where we get sometimes in the mornings when price action doesn't work out the way it's showing us, um, and we just have to wait for the 15-minute. So I'm gonna need to see a 15-minute gap made, or at least an inversion of that last 15-minute gap down below us. So we're pulling back up to view up, and the 21 and the 9 all again on the not 15-minute chart again. Oh, but we're up on the accounts that matter. Uh, the two funded accounts, we're up $291 on each, so it's almost $600 on the day on the fundeds. I hate losing money on the evals, but it is what it is, right? Um, we just have to deal with it. See what the 5-minute chart looks like here. Okay. Oh, what the hell is that? Seriously? I should have looked at the 5-minute chart. That was a serious volume imbalance. Is that right? Did that really happen? No. Why does that look like that? TradingView doesn't show an imbalance there. What the hell? Okay. 5-minute Yeah, see, the 5 minute candles are ATR is 72. We can't trade the 5 minute. Now the 3 minutes done moved up to 62. Okay, the 2 minutes pretty much all we can do here. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna start a small position here. I still think we're going down to take the London low. I could be wrong. I'm wrong often. Actually, wrong more than I'm right, but risk management keeps me alive and keeps me profitable. So I have kind of a strange setup on my desk now. Let's show everybody real quick. I got another 30, uh, was it 32 or 36? 32-inch monitor. Yeah. And I have well, they're both TVs. They're not computer monitors. Um, and I have a wall mount where I can mount one above the other. But I'm worried about the neck strain of looking up to the top monitor because I have to wear readers, right? So looking up is going to be a good bit of neck strain. I don't want to be getting headaches just because I'm trading. So what I've done is I've literally put them in a V shape on my desk because my desk is too short to put them flat. So I think I need to either get a wider desk. Yes, my desk is a little messy at the moment, but it's working. I mean, it's not horrible. I don't particularly like the angle of uh, everything, but it's not, you know, it it's definitely workable. Um, and I actually have enough wall space for if I get a longer desk, um, I can push the outer edges of those monitors back to give me a lot less of an angle on the monitors and just keep them both on the desk. So I like that. Yeah, I mean, we're in a 5 minute range. You know, our entry here is 230. So we got in, not quite at the top of the range, kind of closer to the middle of the range. I'm okay with that because I can risk the top of the range, looking to break to the downside. And even if we do come back and get a little tap into this 5 minute fair value gap or 2 minute fair value gap here, um, then we'll be okay with that. Really, I don't really. I need to unsubscribe from Nutty Bar. I really don't care for his stream. I mean, he's good. Everything is just he's not who I really care to listen to at the moment. Now, I'm not going to start adding to this trade really big, um, just because, again, we haven't gotten through this 15-minute gap up here. Um, and this is a brand new 15-minute candle, and I'm just not sure, if we're going to be getting through that or not. I want to see us invert this, and then we've got another one down here. I really would need to see us break into yesterday's value area, right? And hold it. Because if we can break into yesterday's value area and get past the point of control, then we've got some room to move um, down to the value area low. If we just run a fixed volume profile from the open to now, um, no, what the hell? Fixed volume profile from here to here. Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, the value area low is still pretty much around yesterday's value area high. Uh, you know, we failed breaking out of the value area high of the Globex volume profile. So let's go see if we can break through the low of it and get into yesterday's value area and see what happens there, right? I'm going to add to the trade right there. Um, this would be the time on the 15-minute candle where you're typically going to start having a pullback. Um, and I'm okay with that. Uh, we are getting to the bottom of the 5-minute range, 5-minute consolidation. So I want to see, and we are holding below the 5-minute 9. That is actually a color change off the 5-minute 9 now, which is up at 233. Uh, so we could even pull this down a bit. We made a lower high on the 2-minute. We made a lower swing high on the 5-minute. And the bottom of that 5-minute range is just sticky as hell because of that 15-minute fair value gap. Take a look at the 4-hour real quick. I may need to adjust something. No, I mean, we didn't go break that. I do want to look at this range though. So I'm going to take that off for a little bit. And I want to put our quads up. Let's do a mini quad from there to there. Actually, let's make it an actual quad OTE and just leave the OTE in because we're going to want to see that. And where are we at? Okay, so we're trying to break below and close below the 25. It's another rejection off of the 5-minute 9. Actually breaking, not yet, but looks like it's gonna break the low of this 5-minute range. There is yesterday's value area high at 181. I'm going to pull my stop down because I definitely want us to hold above that. I'll give it a little bit of room, but now our risk is down to $60. We haven't closed below it yet on the 15-minute, but I definitely would, now that we've broken through it, I would like to see us finish down there and stay down there and get below yesterday's point of control. Be looking to take this down to the 15-minute 200 and see what we look like on the lower time frames there. I want to see a 15-minute close below the value area high before I add to the trade, which is still about 5.5 minutes away. That is a push below point of control. I may add to this trade again here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add to this trade here. Again, I want to see us stay inside the value area high at 181. So 181, I can pull my stop down to about 215, give it a little bit of room. That puts us under $100 risk. So price is doing what I was expecting it to do. It's just we were a little early, or just didn't have wide. We didn't keep our stops wide enough um, on that entry. That's a good push down through point of control and value area high from yesterday. This way I can take off two-thirds of my position down at the 15-minute 200. Which is at 47,104. About another 50 points. We have a 15-minute double bottom down here at the London low. Let's see if we break through that. We certainly are at least going to sweep it That's at 138. I mean, if we don't sweep it, I would be amazed getting this close to it to at least use it as some liquidity sweep at the very least, if not to break it and continue lower. Okay, so if we, pretty sure we're going to invert these last gaps, and my stop is going to keep me above those inverted gaps. Okay. Now we've gotten a good distance away from the 9 here, so we certainly could pull back to the 9. We've got a little less than 2 minutes, a little less than 3 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. Okay. Um, okay. Let me take a look. Discord. All right. About a minute and a half left on this 15-minute candle. Really, 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 really like to see it close below the value area high of Friday. All right. Push back into fair value gap. That very fair value gap holds. And we can pull our stop down. We are staying with the 9. I want to give it a little room above the 9 though. A good amount of room this time. I don't want to pull our stop too tight here. I'd love to see us get down to the 15-minute 200. We're just gonna have to see how price reacts when we sweep. Do we displace through uh, the London low at 138, or uh, do we just use it as a liquidity sweep? I'm really going to want to be pulling my stop down into profit when we get to the London low. So I don't want to see too much of a pullback here. Okay, 15-minute candle closed. We closed below Friday's point of control and value area high. Value area high again is right at 181. Our stop is at 212, so we're giving it about 30 points there. At this point, I'd really like to see point of control hold and stay below that point of control. But we will have to see, because when we got down to it last time in the London session, that's when we got into it in the Asia session. It pushed up off of it. The London session went and tried to get below it and just jammed all the way up to the top. Of the pre-market high. So I'm not real sure, you know, if we can stay below it and show a little bit more strength on the 15-minute chart, then yeah, I'm really confident in what I'm doing here. Um, but we could also see quite a bit of consolidation down here at the point of control as well. Um, so I'm really just looking to see who's going to take control of this market at the moment, and I'm still not real sure. I mean, we've gone both directions this morning, but we did close inside yesterday's value area, which I like. Um, I don't expect us to go down to yesterday's value area low today. I'm not saying it won't. I mean, I positive it could, but that that puts us, you know, back down uh, 46,945. Um, you know, not completely impossible, um, especially if we break through the 15-minute 200 and continue down, right? So the push up from Friday's low to New York session high today, our 50% is down right at 47,000. If we're going to go retest 47,000 today, which is very possible, um, we're gonna have a pretty good trade here. You know, it just depends on how much of a pullback we have to have, and if we can um, survive through those pullbacks, right? So, I mean that is only another 150 points away, right? Uh, the problem is it's going to be high resistance liquidity run if we do get down there, and we've got more 15-minute fair value gaps. One starting just above the 15-minute 200 over here to deal with, right? So, all right, we're getting really close to London's low. Okay, I'm taking off the majority of my trade here. I'm gonna put my stop down to the 9. Um, basically, is this going to be a sweep and then we have to have a pullback, or are we going to displace through here? Um, now we're only down $6.25 on the day. I'm perfectly fine with that. We got back most of our losses on this. Now we can just wait and see, are we going to continue down to the 47,000, the 50% mark of yesterday's push up uh, today? If we get through uh, the 15-minute 200, we have to see what we do with these fair value gaps here, right? And we're going to have that 15-minute order block down here around the 50% mark. Um, so we're just going to have to see how that works out, right? So we're coming down to the last 25% of the 4 hour uh, quadrant, okay, right at the 200, 15-minute 200. That is a pretty big candle, folks. I'm going to go ahead and pull my stop down into profit. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and close this trade. Uh, we just broke through the 200. I want to make sure that holds because we do have these fair value gaps here, and we are in profit on the day just a little bit. Um, because we're getting into some dangerous territory here with these 15-minute fair value gaps down here and this 15-minute order block down here as well. I really want to see what our reactions are there. I know we're going to get some resistance on them. Now, if we just blow through them, I don't know what to think about that. Really, um, this is our 4 hour uh, golden pocket on the push up from the lows yesterday. So I may not trade again until we get down there and see what happens. Um, you know, do we break below the 15-minute 200 and stay there? If we do, you know, we've got about 100 points down to the 50%, but we have that order block in our way to get down there. Okay, we've got fair value gaps to get through. We've got the order block to get through to get down to 47,000 at the equilibrium level of yesterday's push up or Friday's push up. I keep saying yesterday. Um, and if we do get down to the 50%, we're not far away from uh, Friday's value area high. Okay. Um, or yeah, no, yeah, Friday's value area high. Okay. Friday's value area low is all the way back, you know, down there near the low of Friday. So, and then Thursday's value area low and Friday's value area high are pretty much right there together, just below the 50%. Again, we've got a ton of resistance to get through to get down there, um, and I'm just not fond of high resistance trading, right? Um, it can be done. You just have to keep your stop losses a little larger and your size a little smaller, um, and just accept, you know, that that little bit of a win. Now, what I would love to see from the 15-minute 200 is maybe a push back up to point of control and then a reversal, um, or break through the 15-minute 200 and hold below it, um, and just see some strength on the lower time frame. Uh, but as of now, I mean, we're in a precarious position, and I don't want to be trading here until the market shows me one way or the other what it's going to do. Really, what I'd really, really, really like to do at this point, because of the resistance above and below us, is really just not trade until we get down to the 6-2, uh, the OTE entry on on the 4 hour, um, which, well, I should say 4 hour, but the OTE entry of the push up from Friday's low to the New York session high of this morning. Okay, so basically you had one push here, consolidation, two pushes, consolidation, three pushes consolidation, and we had our fourth push this morning, okay, on the 15-minute time frame. So what I would love to see there is the pullback to the golden pocket and see uh, the reversal come from there to then go higher. Okay. Um, so we've had a good buy side market up to today's high, and now would like, we have broken structure. We broke the internal structure from the range. We haven't yet closed below the break of structure here, which we may do on this candle. And if we do that, then we're definitely sell side. And I would love to see the sell side come down to at least 50%. But I'd love for us to get into that golden pocket and see the reversal from there, right? Um, you know, the top of the golden pocket is right at this low, which would give us a nice head and shoulders as well, and just see what happens. Okay. Uh, because I'm still not totally convinced. Again, on the daily chart, Friday's low made a double bottom, and we still have a little bit of a daily fair value gap down here that could get rebalanced if we go and take the liquidity from that double bottom um, and get into the rest of that daily fair value gap. So we could actually go all the way back down past Friday's low on the higher time frames to completely rebalance that daily fair value gap. Okay, but I'm gonna have to kind of watch the market here for a little bit and just see how we're reacting at these support levels. You know, are we breaking through support levels? And if we do, then we can trade down to the next support level. Um, and we'll just have to watch. But this isn't an area where I want to stay in a trade. I'm glad I got out when I did, uh, just to go ahead and get our losses back for the morning. That's fine, and wait and see, what happens at the London close and after lunch and all that good stuff, right? Um, so that's a nice little push down below the 15 minute to close below the 15-minute 200 if it stays there for the next 30 seconds. And we're right at that DRT level. Uh, because remember, this is an actual 4-hour DRT level, right? Um, because we did sweep a swing low on Friday afternoon, and then uh, we did sweep the internal swing high here, okay? But we never got up and actually broke structure. We broke internal structure, but we didn't break external structure up here. So, you know, from this push down, um, we haven't broken external structure. We're still at internal structure from the down move, right? So if we have to we swept external here. If we come back to internal structure, which, uh, you know, I guess you would say would be this order block possibly, because well, no, I take that back. Son of a bitch. We never inverted this gap here, okay, on the 4-hour chart. Um, and that's big because that gap is internal structure, right? Okay, we held the midline of that gap, and now we're on our way back down. Now we have, you know, a big bullish gap here to have to take care of. um, which again is going to be the area that is going to give us high resistance. Okay. We are now coming down to the midline of that 5 minute or that 4 hour bullish gap off of yesterday's low. So if we invert this bullish gap, I am I am probably definitely looking to go take out the 4 hour double bottoms that we made to finish rebalancing that daily fair value gap. Okay. But right now we're in an area that I don't need to be trading at. Okay. I wish I had recognized this gap earlier today. I could have made a lot more money. I really could have, because as soon as we tried to push above and we failed and closed back the second time with a red candle off of that 4 hour gap, I would have been short. Um, I mean, that would have been short from, we got the pushback up. Uh, on the last 4 hours, which would have been from 8 o'clock this morning. So yeah, that push up to swipe to be manipulation above the overnight range here. Um, yeah, I could have been in a lot sooner. And that's what you get when you don't um, completely look at your charts and have everything marked up. Now, it hasn't hurt us, thankfully. Um, and again, in this consolidation area, I just had my stops way too tight. Um, and because I was adding to the trade and sizing up, I have to pull my stop loss down. And I really just shouldn't have. I should not have uh, been adding into the trade so quickly there. Okay. Um, I should have waited to see, this manipulation and then the break below the retest of this with a lower high. Um, and then when we got that inversion of that gap there, that's when I could have really started adding to the trade to take it down to the 15-minute 200. So a little bit of bad trade management on my side um, that has cost us a little bit of money this morning. Not put us in a loss, but just has, we did take some losses, and then we had to get it back going to uh, our our real profit target of the 15-minute 200. Um, so, you know, we've got to do a better job of that. Just be a little bit more patient, wait for a little bit more confirmation that we're headed to that target, and then start adding to the trade. The last, the last 30 minutes of that move down to the 15-minute 200 is where we should have been adding strongly to the trade. Um, so again, just a little bit too much, just pushing a little too hard for it, right? Um, yeah, now we're getting a good flush down to the 50%, the 47,000 mark, and I'll kind of want to see what we do from here. This is our second good push down on the 2 minute chart. We definitely could have a third push, which might get us down into that golden pocket area that I'm looking for. So, but I mean, even that is, a 70-point range. So we're going to have to be extremely careful there. We could start a position there um, if we get down there today. We could start a position there, looking for a bounce at the 6-2 with maybe 2 micros, risking 100 points. Um, But I mean, I'm just not sure if we get down there. Uh, I think we might get a bounce off of the 47,000 area at the 5.0. Um, we'll just have to see. Hmm. Again, all in all, for those that just might be tuning in or sitting here not knowing how the morning went, um, we did trade both of our uh, funded accounts this morning. Okay, and oh yeah, look at that. We hit our $300 profit target, and we are locked out of those for the day. Okay, um, so that's $600 in the funded accounts made this morning. The evals, we went about 200 and I want to say it was around $280, $240, somewhere around there, um, into drawdown this morning. Just sizing in too fast and not giving the trade room enough to work. But when we did finally get the move we were looking for and expecting, we were able to get all those losses back, and you know, at least get a break-even day, right? I'm not real concerned with taking any more trades at the moment. Um, we're just not in a great area uh, for that to happen. I mean, we've got strong support down here, um, and we've got high resistance, strong resistance up above us as well. So um, just not comfortable yet with taking any trades, even though we are showing strength to the downside. That could end at any point. Um, take a look at the 30. Yeah, 30-minute order block. We got into that, rejected off. Uh, do you have some more fair value gaps down here we could grab? Oh, ooh. Hey, you're back in. Oh, all right. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So uh, oh, you send it through text? Oh, okay. Let's see. What does that say? Please hold off trading Project X. Prices and field. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, they evidently are having. They're, yeah, they're having some problems. Um, what Discord was that? Oh, is that Project X X's Discord or on Top One's Discord? you know, yeah, because I didn't get anything in Top One's Discord about it. That's what I was wondering. I'm not even in Project X's Discord. Okay. No, well, I mean that's fine. I'm glad you didn't take any trades then, because I didn't know they were having problems. I mean, I haven't had any issues this morning. Uh, no, no, I didn't have my order box linked to my chart, so I was watching YM, but I was trading ES, and I ended up going in three. I thought I was going in three micros on YM. I actually took three minis in ES, and like within 5 seconds, I was up $300, and it hit my profit target, and locked me out of my funded accounts. So I was like, fuck, it's nice to be lucky sometimes. Yeah, nice to be lucky sometimes. So, right? I mean, that's $600 on my funded accounts. So, it, yeah, yeah, no, that's what what I expected to happen happened um, already, and I took a couple losses on YM on my evals, just adding in too soon, getting too aggressive, not being able to keep a wide enough stop loss. But then actually got the move down to the 15-minute 200, which is what I was looking for. So when it finally went down, I finally got enough trades on my evals to basically have a break even day. I mean, I'm up $7.14, so uh, on my evals, but I'm up this 940. Yeah, that was too soon for me. It wouldn't have been, because here's what here's what I realized after the fact, and I should have known this beforehand. Um, we had a 4 hour fair value gap over here, um, right here, and the 930 push. Um, basically, yeah. Let me hold on. Let me put it on this. Let me put it on this chart here, and you can see it better on the lower time frames. Okay. So on the 2 minute chart, yeah, that was it. Yeah, this is this is basically it. And we pushed up out of it and then came right back down. So six to 10 o'clock. Yeah. So this would be it. We broke through it and then pushed back down. The 4 hour candle before that had held the midline, and then this morning's candle pushed up and then started breaking below that 4 hour candle's body at the midline. And that's basically where I would have wanted to get in, right around 275. So right around the 275 area, right around in here. Okay. So this should be that little uh, a little push back into the midline of that held. So been breaking midline, you know, breaking midline, and then finally get it pushed to the midline that stops dead on it and get a push back down. That's coming up towards New York VWAP. And this, after that, is where I actually got into my trade. I was losing money through this here. And then when we finally got that break up towards New York VWAP and the push down, that's where I actually started getting into the trade to go down to the 15-minute 200, which is where we're at right now. So, you know, just a little bit of poor trade management there. Um, wow, is that really? Huh. That 4 hour gap is also in the exact 15-minute gap from here to here. Is it exact? Yeah, no, no shit. That 15-minute gap. No, that 15-minute gap's larger. Okay. So the 4 hour was within the 15-minute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then we started breaking through. Yeah. But yeah, that is what it is. I was just getting too aggressive. I should have entered the first short with my three micros, left my stop where it was until we got through that consolidation and started showing the strength to actually break through to go back down to the 15-minute 200. And then I could have started adding, and I'd probably be up three to $500 on my evals today. So uh, it could, yeah, it could. New York basically has just expanded the range from the overnight, and a lot of times you'll see this. I mean, we took out London and Asia's high, then we took out London and Asia's low, and I mean, we might move back up in the afternoon and stay in this range, or I mean, if we can break below the 15-minute 200 and stay there, because we are below the 30-minute 200, um, we're pushing back down off an hourly fair value gap. So knowing that price moves from internal liquidity to external liquidity, right? Um, Looking at the 4 hour, what we've done is Friday we came and we took external liquidity. Okay, if we're in a downtrend, which we are, we took external liquidity from this low. We've now pushed back up into internal liquidity, which is the fair value gap. Now, logic would say we're going to go down and take out more external liquidity because we do have a little bit of a daily fair value gap down here that has not been rebalanced. We've pushed into it twice, but we haven't completely rebalanced it. So we could go down because there's huge liquidity pools sitting down here below uh, these double bottoms because a lot of people are going to have their stops down here. And there's also liquidity sitting in that fair value gap that could be grabbed. So that's where I'm at. I'm kind of watching the 4 hour 200. Um, do we break below that and hold it? If so, we could trade back down to these lows to take that liquidity. Or uh, also, what I'm looking at is, uh, well, I had it. Well, yeah, it could on that chart, but what I'm looking at here is from the swing low on Friday to the swing high that we made today in the morning. Um, on is it the 15-minute or it's not the 4 hour. Okay. What I what I'm looking for on the higher time frames is two different levels. Okay, we've had a big push up. Price needs to find some balance. Okay. So price will always come back to equilibrium, which we've come close to, the 50% level of that big push up from Friday. Or we could come down to the 6-2 and the 7-0, which is the golden pocket OTE entry. So I'm not really wanting to trade until I see what we do at these two levels. Okay. Do we hit 50%? Yeah, but this is just, you know, a pullback from a huge move up. Or that's the problem. It's either a pullback from the big move up, or it is this was the pullback of the higher time frame downtrend. So I want to see what we do at these levels. Do we force through them forcefully? If we stay below the 50%, then we could trade down into the golden pocket, or we could just wait to get to the golden pocket and see if that holds. And if it doesn't, then we could definitely trade back down to the 4-hour lows down here to take out that double bottom for liquidity. So there are opportunities to trade, but right now we're in a position where I'm not comfortable trading anything. Uh, mainly, but no, no, yeah, yeah, and we've come into this 15-minute order block, which should be support. The 50% line should be support. If that fails, we have another big 15-minute fair value gap just above the 6-2. And if we rebalance that and get into the 6270, and then I can see some strength on the 15-minute to the upside, I'd be looking for longs. But basically, I need to see strength on a 15-minute chart before I do anything. And the only strength we've had so far on the 15-minute chart today, and I view strength via fair value gaps. Okay. So we did make a downside fair value gap on the 15-minute right here. Okay. So if we were to come back up to this area, it's a very small area. I literally could take, just put the short tool on real quick. Uh, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, yep, I sure do. Because the nine price is going to want to stay pretty close to the nine on the smaller time frames. Now it can get extended on the higher time frames. I don't worry too much about that. Okay. Well, I mean, nothing's ever normal. Nothing's ever normal about the market. Uh, so let's see if yeah, if we were to come back up to this 15-minute gap here, I could put a trade on there, only risking 15 points. Okay, as soon as it hits the bottom of that gap, which is right around the 9 EMA. Okay, so I would be okay if price would come up here and just go ahead and take that blind risk. Just take a short as soon as it hits the fair value gap. Because I'm only risking 15 points out of my normal 50-point stop loss. Okay, so that's very low risk, and it's a decent probability because we may be going lower. Okay, especially if we don't hit the 50% mark before we could pull back to get there, because price is going to want morning, morning, morning. How'd you do today? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the that's okay. So you took it down to the 15-minute 200. So you closed it there. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't argue with that. I closed mine there too, and I just got back my losses on my evals. Yeah, I'm only up $7 on my evals. I'm up 300 on two funded, so I made $600 today. But that I got lucky. Were you here when that happened? I thought I was going buying three micros on YM. I ended up buying three minis on ES, and in like 5 seconds, it fucking hit my profit target and locked me out for the day. Hey, I'd rather be lucky than good sometimes, for sure. Yep, yep, exactly. I mean, like I said, I closed mine at the 15,200 as well. Um, but with that big push up we had, showing some strength to the downside, I I really, looking at it, should have held my trade till we got down to equilibrium, uh, which is right at 47,000. Yeah. Yeah, but at the time when we got down there, the 200 EMA, the 200 SMA was still pointing in the downward direction, even through yesterday's big pump up. Really? Well, you gotta zoom out a little bit. If you're zoomed in on it, yeah, it looks somewhat flat. But if you zoom out over the last couple of days, it's still in a downtrend. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't disagree with closing the trade there. I just wish I had held mine a little bit longer as well, just to see if we could get down to equilibrium from Friday's push up and today's high. So I have my fib on from Friday's low to the New York session high this morning, and looking for us to get down to equilibrium there. But we are tapping into this 15-minute order block as well at a 15-minute fair bullish fair value gap. So I don't know if we actually get down there or not. The 15-minute 200 was the better place to exit a trade if you weren't going to hold any runners. Yeah. Oh, I bet. I bet. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, there you go. I mean, my evals are up. Yeah, my evals are up $7, and at this point, we're in a position where I don't want to trade anymore. We got the 200 above us, and we've got the 50 equilibrium below us. So I would rather us get into discount pricing on that push up before I trade again and see what happens. Um, so I'll be a break even day. I didn't even really make money in my evals. Now I did. I'm not counting the 600 I made in my funded accounts as actual profit, even though it's there, because I screwed up. That was not a trade. Right. Oh. Yeah, 'cause I mean I hit buy three and I'm on the micro YM chart and I looked up and like I was at like $200 in profit. And I'm like, no, YM hasn't moved that far. Fuck. And then I looked up and at the contract it said ES and I was like, oh shit. I went to go close the trade and it hit my profit. and closed me out uh, and locked me out of the account before I could even touch it. Shit. Hey, dude, I was afraid it was going to slam right back down because we were in a downtrend on all the markets. I just happened to catch a lucky little pop up. I won't be trading anymore until at least this afternoon to see if we get down to equilibrium. Um, and that, and even then, I'm probably tempted not to. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna shut down the YouTube channel here in a minute, and probably, I mean, we got a beautiful day. It's gonna be like 60 degrees. I might go hit some golf balls. How did I get what? Oh, yeah. Okay. On your chart, in the top right corner of your chart, there's a little plus sign. That's a white box with a black plus. Click on that. That's add components. And when that box pops up, you grab the dollar sign that says order, click and drag it over one of the little yellow arrows to the right side of that little arrow on the right side and let go. And that'll put it on the right side of your chart. Oh, all right. What do you mean your plus button didn't do anything? Chris. Yeah. Uh, share your screen, dude. Let me take a look at it. I'll be right back. I gotta go take a bathroom break real quick. Oh, wait a minute. All right, let me pull your screen up here. What the fuck was that? There we go. All right. All right, go up and hit that little plus sign. Really? What the fuck? Um, yeah, just go and close down your top one charts and then get back in them. Once you're back in, share your screen again. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I know. Go down to the bottom middle of your chart, up into the graph. Okay. All right. So you've only got one chart up. Uh, do you have your two? Do you have your two chart split screen, or you just have this one chart up? Okay. Um, Close the stream, and when you go to share your screen, click on the entire screen button, not just the window. All are you, did you download the Project X platform or are you using it on a web browser? Huh. Well, I mean, the only thing I see on your screen is the chart. I don't see anything else, like the tab for the web browser or anything like that. So, I don't know. Hmm. Cause it like, cause it like on my screen where you've got, where you can see my tabs with the web browser. Well, on your screen, all I see is this area right here. I don't see anything above your balance and your P&L and L and all that stuff. So I think it's the way you're sharing your screen. When you on your web browser up here, like where mine are, you can't open another tab here? Okay, I just don't see your web browser at all. All right. Uh, yeah, just give it some time, because like even when the last time we were talking, and I was like, why can't I open another tab? It wouldn't let me open up a second chart. It runs into these problems every once in a while. Uh, and like I said, we're not anywhere where you want to be trading right now anyway. Um, so you're better off just not being able to do anything at all. Um, so that way you won't. Yeah. No. Um, but instead of going in from your email, have you need to get into your actual uh, top one account so that you can see your dashboard and everything in top one like that. Um, and then, choose the account you want to trade, go to your metrics, and then go to credentials, and then launch the platform from there. Because that, yeah, because that email may actually deactivate at some point. It might not be good forever. So you need to be, yeah, you just need to be launching from your dashboard. I got nothing really to do at the moment. I'm gonna watch for a little bit longer, leave the charts up, but um, yeah, I don't have much else to do. Yeah, I'm up 700 in one funded account and up 291 in the other, so I'm up $1,000 on these funded accounts. So definitely, yeah. Once you get it back up and running, let me know. Just don't take any more trades today until at least till this afternoon. I'll be back on the charts this afternoon if I walk away from the computer. Yeah. Okay. I may go hit some golf balls here in a little bit. I'll see. I'm not too thrilled about 50-degree weather. I'd rather it be in the 60s to 70s, uh, but I still haven't been out hitting any golf balls. Yeah. All right, man. Later. All right. By the way, you guys hear me talking to people. I do live in the Discord channel. Um, and let me just let me just get it up there. I'll throw a link here in the limit. All right, nope. Let's never generate link. Copy. Let me just throw the link here to the Discord. If anybody wants to watch without the delay, uh, you're welcome to join me in my Discord. Well, it's not my Discord; it's GammaX Trading. Uh, really great group of people. But I stream in there live every morning as well. That's who you hear me talking to. Um, and that is where you can catch the zero latency stream to actually see my executions live. Okay. So, as you've all seen while I was throwing up my dashboard there, um, and we're in profit on this challenge. We're in profit on this challenge. We're still in drawdown on this challenge. Um, but we're up almost $1,000 on the funded accounts. I traded this one for 2 days. I've only traded this one for one day. So yeah, that's that is what it is. Um, I really don't think I'm going to be doing much else today on the charts. I just don't see much else going on. We certainly could push down to you know equilibrium, uh, which I would expect us probably to do so. Now that the 9 EMA is catching up, maybe we have a pullback into the fair value gap when the 21 gets down there to go touch the 21 and then come back down. I just don't know right now, and I'm not willing to put anything at risk at the moment. Um, I got the move of the morning that I was looking for after the open. When we pushed up, we gave it all right back. Um, I was definitely looking for us to go down to the 15-minute 200, and that's exactly what we did. But from here, I just, we've got too much support below us, too much resistance above us. Um, so, yeah, I'm not looking to put on any risk. So I'm going to shut down the YouTube stream for the day. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. As usual. Hopefully, I'll be on time, not a few minutes late like I was this morning. But again, hey, life always happens. Got to take care of things in the morning, and when you run out of time, you run out of time. But definitely, we'll be back on, and we'll trade it again. See what the Monday range does. See if we can't break out of this Monday range from one side or the other. Of course, that Monday range could definitely expand for the rest of the day, um, but we'll see. It was a good day trading. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. If you are here, I would really like it if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and throw a comment in. Let me know what you think about it. Um, it's a small channel at the moment, but it is growing. We get more and more subscribers here and there. I'm trying to put out a lot of content for everyone to help them with their trading. Um, I do have uh, a little bit different style from most of the people I see trading on uh, YouTube and Discord. I respect all of them. Um, well, there are some scammers out there trading on YouTube, but um, the people I follow are good, genuine people that are good traders, uh, and and they try to do their best to help others, which is my goal as well. So, you know, I even watch other streams while I'm trading. So, uh, especially when they're doing giveaways, maybe someday I'll start doing some giveaways. But not right now. We're still working our way up, and we're getting there. So, um, one other last thing. Today is the last day of the top one futures Ignite accounts. So you have until midnight tonight to pick these up, and um, after that, oh, they're going to be gone for a little while. They might bring them back, but they might not. Um, so, you know, get in on this uh, as soon as you can because you don't want to miss out. The 50K accounts are $179, which is absolutely fantastic. Um, and a little different rules. Look at the rules, do your research. It's a uh, tighter consistency rule. It's a smaller maximum payout on your first payout. Um, and you know, but it's end of day drawdown, which is fantastic. And you can't beat it for the money. I mean, $179 for a straight to funded account. I grabbed two of them, and I'm trading them. That's why, I'm only shooting for $300 a day to stay in that consistency rule. But $300 a day times two accounts, that's $600. If you can do that five days in a week, you've made $3,000 in a week. I mean, you just can't beat that. So I'm throwing the link in the chat right now. So uh, go over and grab you one of those, one or more. You can trade up to six, copy trade up to six at a time. So they are fantastic. Go grab you one or two. I'd appreciate if you use my link. I am affiliated with Top One. Um, I'm I'm no huge influencer, but if you do use my link, I will make money. Be completely honest about that. Um, but it certainly would help. So, all right, that's it for today.